Okay, welcome to Brand X Reviews. Kind of a change of format for this one. I'm actually doing a news review, pretty much. It's a story that's broke today. Today is the 25th of November 2013. According to Marvel.com, we've got a couple of recently signed additions to the cast of the Avengers Age of Ultron, which is the Avengers 2, basically. And that is out in 2015. Two characters, the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Now, you may not have heard of these characters. I do have the press release here, I can pretty much read it out, but if you go to marvel.com, it's in the storyline that's been in the news feed from today. But we have Taylor-Johnson, who is playing Quicksilver, and Elizabeth Olsen, who is one of the a younger sister of the Olsen twins, if you've heard of them, if you can stand them. So I don't know whether this is good or bad news, really. Kind of don't really have an opinion of her. I've not seen either of them in anything before, so I understand that Aaron Taylor-Johnson is in two Kick-Ass films, but I haven't seen those. I probably should, and then review them. But yeah, they've been signed to play two characters. But what's interesting about this, to me anyway, I'm not massively up on the Marvel comics. I've read quite a few of them, but these characters really originated from the X-Men. Back in the 60s, I think. And I don't quite know how they're going to fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in terms of the Avengers films, the ones that are done, distributed by Universal, I think it is, or Paramount. Well, it's in Disney anyway. So different studios have worked on different films, that's why I get kind of confused. But it's Marvel Studios that make them, but these characters originated in X-Men, so much so that these two characters are actually Magneto's two children, son and daughter. And of course, the X-Men, which is what Magneto is from, is owned by 20th Century Fox. There is no connection in the sort of film universe between the X-Men films, the ones with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, and the Marvel films with Iron Man and Thor. There is no real connection, there's no official connection, because they're owned by different studios. You will not see these films overlap unless the studios come to some kind of arrangement, which isn't going to happen, basically. So it's going to be interesting how they do it, like I say, because these two characters are really rooted in X-Men, really. I mean, they do become Avengers, these two characters, don't get me wrong. They did become Avengers in the comics, because obviously that's all they're free to do that, because Marvel. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to fit it in with the Avengers 2 anyway. It's not unheard of. Another example of what they've already done, that was done well, was they had the Iron Patriot in Iron Man 3. And in the comics, the Iron Patriot is a suit that was made by Norman Osborn, who is the Green Goblin out of Spider-Man. And again, the Spider-Man films, the whole Spider-Man franchise is locked up by Sony. So Iron Man 3 couldn't really have the Iron Patriot shown as its original comic book roots, being created by Norman Osborn, sorry. Because they would get sued if they used that character, because it's the property of Sony. So what they did was they just kind of gave it a new origin. So I'm presuming that's what they're going to have to do with these two characters, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, in the Avengers Age of Ultron, which is out in 2015.
As I say, the Scarlet Witch is a character that originally appeared in the X-Men back in the early 60s, or mid-60s I think it was. She's the daughter of Magneto, so she's a mutant, essentially. She carries quite a few powers, some fairly generic ones like force fields and kind of deflect things, and she has like a hex power as well, which means that she can kind of manipulate things, usually probability, in the sense that, kind of good luck and bad luck kind of thing. She's appeared in quite a few different things, comics, computer games. I seem to remember she was in the Iron Man series in the 90s as well. That's one of the few things that I can actually remember her from. She might have been in a few other things. I know she would have been in the X-Men, obviously. She was in Wolverine in the X-Men as well. I seem to remember she was in a few episodes of that, which was a more recent one, within the last few years, but she was in the 90s X-Men series as well. I think she was also in the Ultimate Spider-Man as well. So she's kind of done rounds in terms of the animated series. Comics, obviously, you know, it's like I say, it's Marvel, so they can pretty much intermix all their characters. But films, this will be the first time she's been depicted in a film, in a live-action film anyway. So as far as I'm aware, I don't know of any others. But that's what she looks like anyway. So as I say, I don't know how they're going to make her appear in the film, but we will see.
I can sort of see why they're adding all these characters into it. Not just because it's awesome and that's what we want to see as fans, but I think they're really trying to introduce new characters and get new blood into it, because over time actors are going to get tired of reprising their roles in films. I know Robert Downey Jr. has signed on to do Iron Man for another couple of films, which includes the Avengers films, 2 and 3 at least. I kind of doubt they'll do another Iron Man film on its own. But, actors get tired of doing these things, so I think they're really trying to get new characters into this, and they really are projecting years ahead with this film franchise. They've got Ant-Man, which is going to be the first film after the Avengers 2, Avengers Age of Ultron. But I think that's coming out in 2015. In fact, I think it says, yes, July 2015. I've got a press release in front of me. So they've got from what I understand anyway, it's not been officially confirmed, but Doctor Strange, which is a character that is kind of rooted in magic, so they'll be having sort of magic angle, sorcery angle type thing, kind of Harry Potter-like in a way, in this Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man. I think they're probably going to invest a lot in the Doctor Strange. I think from what Kevin Feige, the big Marvel producer, said, the Doctor Strange character is going to be, they're hoping, a really popular character, like Iron Man basically. Iron Man is pretty much everyone's favourite, well, most people's favourite. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I think most people think Iron Man is kind of the coolest one. So I think they're kind of trying to project it forward, because obviously Robert Downey Jr. at some stage probably just going to say, look, I'm done with that kind of thing. And some of the actors probably will as well. So like I say, they are really projecting forward with this. Like I said, I've got a press release. I could read it, but I think I've pretty much kind of said the essential parts of it anyway. So again, it's Aaron Taylor-Johnson is playing Quicksilver, and Elizabeth Olsen, who is playing the Scarlet Witch. Presumably they're going to have different costumes to what they have in the comics, because they look kind of ridiculous. Like Hawkeye, they had to kind of redesign Hawkeye for the films, because they couldn't have a big purple guy going around in a mask and that kind of camp look of the comic book. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Captain America, that's fine, they can kind of go with that costume, they did it well, but there are some costumes that they can't really take from the comics. So Scarlet Witch, I might incorporate some imagery on this video if I have time, but if not, you can just look up who Scarlet Witch is and see for yourself. Anyway, that was my my news story anyway for today, so hope you got something out of it. Like I say, look it up. It's on today's press release on marvel.com, so you can read all about it on there, and I'm sure there will be more developments. So check back anyway, the website is brandxreviews.com. For the most part, we do reviews of films, new and old. Not just films, but we're going to be doing music and collector's items, all that kind of thing, from various popular culture. But I'm going to start doing news reports as well, like this. See if it takes off. Let us know what you think. Leave comments in the YouTube channel and on the website, brandxreviews.com. And we will see you for the next review or for the next news item. Thank you very much for watching.